Hey everybody, Tanner Larsson here and welcome to the Supercharge Your Store workshop. I'm going to show you how to dial in and supercharge your store and really make 3 to 4x more money from your existing ads without additional ad spend. Now, as we go through this workshop, I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions. They may seem redundant, but I promise you they're not. Stay engaged. The more engaged you are, the more excited I'll get, the more information I will share, the more secrets I will spill, and the more enjoyable of an experience you will have, as well as the information that's going to come out. Also, if you have a question, go ahead and ask it in the chat. I will do my best to catch it on the fly. If it's relevant, I'll answer it. If it's not relevant for what we're talking about then, to keep us from derailing, I will save it to the end, and I promise you there will be plenty of time to ask me questions at the end. I'll stay on and answer them for all of you. With that said, let's dive in. All right, so first of all, real quick, I want to save your time if it's not for you. Who this webinar and workshop is for. This is for people with e-commerce stores that are currently selling products and suffering from low conversions and or a high cost per acquisition. If you want to improve your store's performance and maximize your income, then this training is for you, okay? However, I do want to save your time if this is not for you. So who this is not for. If you don't have a store or you haven't launched your business yet, this training is really not going to help you, okay? Why? Because we're all about what to do on your store right now, how to dial it in. If you don't have a store, you can't apply these different things, okay? So if you're don't have a store yet, I don't want to waste your time, but this webinar will not be as beneficial to you as the other people who do have a store or an e-com funnel and are ready to go, all right? Now, in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to prove a couple different things to you. But first of all, I'm going to prove to you that traffic is actually not your problem and that you're already better at traffic than you need to be. And I'll show you what to focus on instead. I'm also going to show you how to cut your traffic costs in half, thereby getting double the number of targeted visitors to your store for the same amount of money you're already spending. Also going to show you how to make traffic easier and cheaper, which will allow you to finally scale. Scale's that thing we all want. Everybody talks about scaling their store, but there's some secrets that have to happen and some tricks that have to be applied before that can happen. And then finally, I'm going to show you how some very small changes will lead to some very big wins and make your store convert way, way better. And that's where that 3 to 4x power comes in from your existing advertising. And I'm going to cover all of that in the next 45 minutes. Now, before we get too far into this, most of you guys know me, but for those of you who don't, real quick, I am going to go over that. So my name is Tanner Larsson. That's me in the black BGS shirt right there. Next to me is Matthew Stafford, my business partner, not the quarterback, the other Matthew Stafford. Together, we're the founders of Build, Grow, Scale. We've been doing e-commerce since 2001 with over $400 million in e-commerce results from people using our systems, clients, and everything else. We've been rated the top Shopify optimization experts for the past 3 years, okay? And we specialize in helping companies build, grow, and scale highly profitable and sustainable e-commerce businesses. That picture right there is Matt and I down in California standing in front of the Facebook wall at Facebook HQ. No, Matt didn't work at Instagram. He wanted to be a rebel, show Facebook people that he was like one of their guys instead of a BGS guy when he wore that shirt. So we were just down there getting some inside scoop from the Facebook reps directly. Now, I'm also the author of the book E-commerce Evolved, which has become known as the Bible of modern day e-commerce. We've sold over 75,000 copies of the book so far, and we've helped dozens of businesses grow past the 7-figure mark, and over 19 different businesses have grown past the 8-figure mark following our systems, all right? Now, the only reason I tell you stuff like this and show you some of the clients that we work with, and you probably know some of these companies, is to show that we walk the walk. We know e-commerce. It's the only thing we do 365 days a year, and I can say with 100% conviction that we are the absolute best at getting e-commerce stores to convert. It's all we do, guys. We legitimately walk the walk, okay? Now, my promise to you is that by the end of this presentation, you will know exactly what to do to supercharge your store and make more money from your existing ads without the additional ad spend, which, like I said, will finally allow you to scale at break even or better. All right, now does this sound like you? I want to make sure we're in the right place here. Does your store's revenue and income look like a heart rate monitor? Kind of like up and down and up and down, and you're not able to maintain it consistently? Go ahead and throw it in the chat. Yes, that's me. Oh yeah, I'm seeing it already. Now, do you also have low conversions, okay? Or maybe your cost per acquisition is higher than you want it to be, right? Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that's me. Yeah, totally, right? Seeing it all through the chat. Or are you tired of throwing shit at the wall just to see what sticks. You're tired of guessing your way around your business. You don't know what you're doing. You feel like you're constantly throwing shit at a wall and going, man, I hope this works. Is that you? Anybody? Can anybody feel like that? I know I have in the past as well, right? Guessing, hate that, yeah. Now, are you also maybe working way too hard in your business? Too many hours. Maybe you're working 27 hours a day, 9 days a week, right? It feels like you just never have time for anything else, and you're ignoring your family, you're burning yourself out, and you're still not getting the results you want. Now, the only reason I can ask you if this sounds like you is because all 4 of these, they were me. They were Matt before we figured out what actually works when it comes to e-commerce. And what I want to show you during this training is exactly that, how to alleviate those things. Now, the real problem, the reason that you're saying yes to those 4 things, and you're like, yep, those are me, those are me, those are me, those are me, is because you're actually focusing on the wrong thing. There's an actual problem, and then there's symptoms, all right, right? What you're focusing on is not the problem. It's actually just a symptom, okay? Now, once you actually focus on that right thing, the real problem, not the symptom, right? You'll wake up every day knowing exactly what is going to happen in your business that day. Your income will be consistent and predictable, and you won't have more of those sleepless nights wondering if you're going to make enough money to cover the bills the next month. And trust me, guys, I know those feelings. I have been there myself. Now, you'll have absolute certainty that you have an e-commerce game plan that works. No more guessing. And that is working, and it's a game plan that's working for people all over the world in every conceivable market and niche. Now, it's not even so much of a game plan as it is a cookbook, because a cookbook allows for variables. There's a whole bunch of different things because different strokes for different folks, right? Same thing with different stores. There's not a clear-cut, definite answer that works for every single store on the planet. Anyone who says that is lying to you. But what we're going to give you is that game plan cookbook that allows you to adapt to your store and your needs and still follow that game plan, all right? And you'll be able to stop doing 90% of the day-to-day busy work that you're currently doing and start working on your business instead of in your business, all right? We have all heard the 80-20 rule, right? The golden rule, the Pareto principle, where 80% of your results are generated by 20% of your actions. The hard part is how do you figure out what those 20% are that are the most important and biggest needle movers? That's what I'm going to show you, and that's what you're going to figure out when you know the right thing. And you'll be able to grow and scale your e-commerce business to support whatever lifestyle you choose for yourself and your family. I am living proof of that. Matt is living proof of that. We have been able to live a life that is just way beyond what we originally anticipated or thought we were capable of simply by following this system, and we're excited to share it with you right now. So, what is the wrong thing? What are you doing wrong? Right? What are you focusing on that's not the right thing? Traffic, okay? Traffic is what you are focusing on. It's what everybody in the e-com marketplace is focusing on. It's the number one thing you hear gurus talking about. Let me help you get better at traffic. Let me show you my traffic hack. Let me show you how to use this or that or this or whiz-bang traffic thing. Interesting, actually kind of funny little quick story I'll tell you. Build, Grow, Scale hosts an event called Build, Grow, Scale Live, right? It's the largest e-commerce conference in North America. Every year we host this conference, except for this year because of COVID. However, every year we host this conference, right? Now, before we do the conference, we survey all the people who are coming to the event, all the attendees. We survey them, asking them kind of what's up and a bunch of different questions. And we always ask, what's the most important skill they want to learn at our event to help them grow their business, okay? And it shocks us every time, all right? 85% of the respondents said they wanted to get better at traffic, and that's why they were coming to Build, Grow, Scale Live. Despite the fact that nowhere on the sales page do we talk about traffic. In fact, we even go so far as to say, we will not teach you anything about traffic at this event. Why? Because traffic is actually not the problem, all right? But that's what we're conditioned in the marketplace. If I could just get better at traffic, if I could just get cheaper traffic, if I could just target better, if I could just lower my cost per acquisition or get a better CPM. If you've probably said those same kind of phrases yourself. If traffic, I'd be successful, right? The reality is not. And we told the survey respondents at the event the same thing that I'm going to tell you right now. Traffic is not your problem, okay? Not at all. everybody thinks that getting better at traffic will solve the problem, okay? The reality is, and this is, I want you to hear this, chances are that if you've ever bought a traffic course, if you've ever run Facebook ads, you are probably already better at traffic generation than you need to be. And I'm going to prove that to you right now. All right, so you don't need to get better at traffic. You need to get better at something else. So let me tell you a little bit of a story. I want you to kind of imagine this as we go along, okay? Imagine that you have a bucket, and you're trying to fill this bucket with water. But the problem is, the bucket you have is full of holes. Holes on the side, holes on the bottom, holes all over the place, okay? How long do you think it would take you to fill that bucket with water if it's full of holes, okay? Let's say you were trying to fill your swimming pool, and you were filling up your bucket at the spigot, and then you would carry the bucket full of holes over to the swimming pool and dump it in. How long would you do that before you gave up on that bucket? Probably like 5 seconds, right? Because you realize logically that a bucket full of holes can't hold water, okay? Well, your business and your store is like that bucket. In this case, your bucket is the business, and the traffic is the water that's pouring into the bucket. 98 to 99% of that water is leaking out through the holes in your bucket, okay? And yet, you want to get better at pouring more traffic into a bucket that's already leaking. Now, logically, does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense at all. But that's what we're all doing. That's what the e-commerce market is doing. That's what the gurus are selling you. Why? Because traffic is sexy, it's easy to sell, and they can keep getting you to buy more and more and more of it, rather than actually fixing the problem, because, and truth be told, the gurus themselves don't know how to fix the problem. All they know how to do is try to buy more traffic, okay? So what are the leaks? What are the leaks in your bucket, which in this case is your business? All right, when I say leaks, I'm talking about dozens and dozens of issues like these: bounce rate, cart abandonment, complicated sales flow, visual complexity, lack of clarity, too many form fields, slow page load times, lack of trust, wasted above the fold space, walls of text, poor user experience, bad filtering, and up to 100 or more different leaks. Guys, how many of you think that your store could be experiencing some of the ones that I listed out on this page? Any of you guys? What do you think? I guarantee it. Every single one of you is suffering from every single one of these, okay? And probably a dozen or 2 dozen or 3 dozen more. Every page has as many as 100 different leaks that can be happening on your store, okay? Now, all of those leaks add up to lost opportunity in sales. If we think of the bucket again, all the water that's leaking out of the bucket is money that you spent on traffic. And it's not only wasted money, but it's lost opportunity of sales that could have been made, because some of those people would have bought had you had your leaks patched, okay? So the more leaks you have on your website, the harder it is for your business to turn a profit, much less grow or scale, all right? Now, most businesses ignore these leaks. They pretend like they don't there, or they're not even aware that they're there, okay? And they try to solve the problem by buying more traffic. Now, if you're honest, you'll say, yep, that's me. You can admit that you've done this, okay? I can say that I've done it myself, all right, in the past, before I realized what actually was the problem. Needing more traffic to get more sales is a symptom of a leaky business, okay? The business leaking is the problem, all right? Now, buying more traffic into a leaky business is like using a fire hose to water a flower. It doesn't make any sense, all right? Now, this kind of behavior of buying more traffic and just trying to get more traffic leads to things like spending way more than necessary on your traffic, damaging your offer's conversion rate, and losing the majority of your potential new customers that would have purchased, okay? And it also leads to increasing your cost per acquisition way beyond what you can afford, stunting the growth of your business, and worst of all, it ultimately winds up in destroying the flower, which in this case is your business, all right? Now, Stephen Covey has a famous quote that says, if the ladder is not leaning against the right wall, every step we take gets us to the wrong place faster, okay? When you have a leaky bucket or a leaking business that's just bleeding money all over the place, and you're just trying to throw more traffic at it, you're climbing up a ladder against the wrong wall. You are this picture, okay? You could be all the way at the top and realize, crap, I'm on the wrong wall, all right? So make sure your ladder is leaning against the right wall, okay? Now, there is good news though. All those problems, all those leaks that we're talking about can be easily fixed by patching as many of those leaks in your bucket as possible first, before you go spend more money on traffic. The last thing you should be doing is buying more traffic until you patch those leaks. Now, if you go back to the filling up the pool with a leaky bucket example, you would not keep walking from the spigot to the pool with the leaky bucket. You'd get frustrated and you'd be like, man, I gotta fix this bucket or get a new bucket. In real world, in reality, we're like, that makes total sense. Why doesn't it make sense for your business? Why wouldn't you patch the leaks in your business before trying to spend money on traffic? Now, patching the leaks, once you patch all those leaks in the bucket, your store will convert better, Facebook will optimize your ads better, your traffic will get cheaper, and you will be actually able to scale. You don't need to get better at traffic. If you learn one thing from this training today, it's that you don't need to be better at traffic. You need to get better at patching the leaks, okay? Is this making sense so far, guys? You guys with me? Let me know. Anybody have a little light bulb moment so far? Heck yes, totally yes, that's me. Wow, never thought of it that way. Okay, cool. That's exactly it. All right, let's keep going then. So this is where we start talking about revenue optimization. Now, revenue optimization is a term that Build, Grow, Scale coined, not to be confused with conversion rate optimization, but revenue optimization is a systematic process of optimizing and plugging the leaks on your store at every step of the buyer's journey, okay? It's just the fancy, revenue optimization is the fancy word for patching the leaks, okay? But revenue optimization sounds totally cool, right? So we're gonna use that. Now, what kind of leaks are we talking about and where are they? Each of the blocks that you see right here, these are the different parts and pages of your store, actually contain dozens and dozens of issues, both big and small, that are causing revenue to be leaked in your business, okay? What you're seeing is the buyer's journey. This is the time from the click landing on the site to the back end. And some of you might be going, oh, Tanner, I send my click to the product page. Doesn't matter, okay? It's still part of the buyer's journey. And typically, category pages and the home page will impact a buyer's journey, even if they start on the product page, okay? Studies show, we have all the stats to back it up. They land on the product page. As part of their due diligence, they'll probably wind up on the home page and at least one category page. All right, now the secret of all of our successful member and partner stores is that they have made it their number one focus to optimize the buyer's journey along every single step and stop all the leakage. Now, as simple as that sounds, guys, that really is all there is to it. And I guarantee, I promise with all my heart, that if you shift your focus from buying traffic to revenue optimization, your performance will skyrocket, your store will explode, and you'll have a big old smile on your face, okay? I promise that. Now, let's drive this point home. All right, I'm going to give you a real-world example in the most boring fashion that I possibly can. We're going to talk about bounce rate, but I'm going to give you some cool stuff, right? So what I'm going to show you is how a 10% reduction in bounce rate will actually cut your traffic costs in half, thereby getting double the number of targeted visitors to your store, all right? So let's go through it. Stay with me here. It's a little bit of a numbers example. So in this example, we're going to have 1,000 visitors go to the site, and the cost per visitor is 50 cents per website click. Pretty standard, right? Total cost for the 1,000 visitors is $500, okay? That's the basis of the example, all right? Now, we add in the next variable, a bounce rate of 90%. Now, that's pretty bad, but you know what? Over 85% of e-commerce stores and funnels out there have a bounce rate higher than 90%. It's the average is in the 90s, okay? So it's not uncommon to see 94, 96% bounce rates on a store, okay, or a funnel, especially on funnels, all right? Now, if your store or funnel has a bounce rate of 90%, that means that out of 1,000 visitors, 900 of them bounce, meaning 900 of them leave, and only 100 of them stay on the site to consider whatever it is that you're selling. Now, even though only 100 people stayed, you still spent $500 to get that traffic, okay? So if you really do the correct math, the cost per visitor is $5 per visitor, because only out of those 1,000, 900 of them never even considered your offer. Only 100 of the 1,000, because you have a 90% bounce rate, only 100 of them did, meaning your actual traffic cost is 900% more expensive than you think. Okay? So you're basically budgeting and doing all of your planning thinking that, oh, I'm paying 50 cents a click because that's what Facebook or Instagram or Google tells me I'm paying. But you're not. That's a false number, because that's the total clicks. That's not the number of people who actually stay on the site and consider the offer. Because the people who bounce never gave it a chance. So out of that 1,000, only 100 considered the offer. So you're budgeting using a 50% or a 50 cent cost when your actual cost per visitor that saw your offer is 900% more at $5 per click. This is why you can't be profitable. This is why traffic is not your problem. It's your store, okay, or your funnel. Now, it gets better. Let's say we reduce your store's bounce rate. We reduce it by 10%, from 90% to 80%. And that's as easy as optimizing and compressing all the images on your site to make them load faster. Okay? Super simple to do. A lot of little things you can do to get a 10% reduction. All right? Now your total traffic cost is still $500. Okay? But because 80% out of the 1,000 is 200, you now have 200 visitors on your site. You only reduced your bounce rate 10%, but you got double the amount of visitors to consider your offer before that didn't bounce, right? Meaning that your cost per visitor is only $2.50 now, okay? Still not 50 cents, but half of what it was before, okay? So a 10% reduction in bounce rate has cut your actual traffic costs in half, all right? This is why so many people have trouble with traffic, because it's not a traffic problem. Okay? It's a store problem. And this, we're just talking about bounce rate, which is how many people hit the page and leave before considering anything that goes on, right? There's so many other issues. This is just one. And a simple reduction can actually make you a lot of money. Now, we are capable of getting bounce rates down into the 30% range. You'll never have a bounce rate lower than that. If it gets much lower than that, you probably have incorrect or inaccurate tracking going on. But you can get it down into the 30s. So imagine how much more accurate and cheaper your actual traffic cost can get if you keep reducing your bounce rate. All right? So simple things can make a big difference, guys. Now, again, if you take anything away from this webinar, you don't need to be better at traffic. You do need to be better at revenue optimization. So how do we figure all this stuff out? Like, it's not like we just automatically knew this, and I've been telling you the whole time that I've made these same mistakes. Well, I really have. So Matt and I own our own brands, okay? This is actually our fulfillment center that we had. We actually got rid of the fulfillment center because we really realized that we didn't like fulfillment. But for a long time there, we had a fulfillment center. And what you're seeing here is one brand that we would sell a few thousand units a day of, sometimes more. And it was a phenomenally profitable brand. Now, how many of you guys have ever had something start working and then it quit working, right? Like our business was doing great. We thought we were awesome at e-commerce, and then guess what? Facebook changed. And all of a sudden, our business wasn't working anymore. We were just ridiculously not working. And then we started figuring out, okay, we'll get better at traffic. We'll buy more traffic. We'll add more apps. We'll do more persuasive stuff. We'll put on this widget. We'll add more copy. We'll change our images. We'll do all this stuff. And we kept adding and adding and adding more stuff, trying to make it start working again. How many of you guys can relate to that? Any of you guys? Yeah, totally. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, now here's what happened, guys. We went through this time period where our business was booming. It was going so crazy. We were selling so many thousands of units a day. And at that point, it's a custom product, so we had to have multiple units of inventory, like on the water, shipping, in inventory, in production, raw materials pre-purchased for the next batch. We would usually have 3 to 4 sets of inventory plus a set of raw materials in production at any one time. And when that was going on, it was great. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't great. But the company was still big, but it wasn't making money. And at that point, we were writing $200,000 checks every single month just trying to keep the business afloat. We were so successful, we were going broke, right? And that was when we realized that, hey, what we're doing isn't working. What everybody else is doing isn't working either. And then we said, hey, we better start paying attention. We're going to go broke real fast. We better figure this out. And that's when we really started getting nitty-gritty about testing and figuring out what actually made a difference rather than just throwing shit at a wall, hoping something was going to work. All right? And we finally figured it out. We finally figured out that the one thing that moved the needle in our business was reliance on data and making decisions based on true data, not Facebook ad data, not Google data, but real true data, and not Shopify analytics or ClickFunnels analytics, none of that crap. Real data, okay? And we started focusing on what happens after the click. We realized we had a leaky bucket. All right, we started looking at our store's performance and our data and identifying every single place where we had drop-off, where we had leaks, where we were losing money, where we were not performing. We started finding all of those leaks from before and a whole lot more, and we started patching those leaks one by one. And that is where the process of revenue optimization kind of came from. And that's what Build, Grow, Scale has completely founded its entire process on. We're now at over 54 full-time team members that do nothing but this kind of optimization and data work all day long across our brands, partner brands, and our member stores. It's all we do because it's the one thing that truly moves the needle. And the dozens of those small changes added up to really, really big gains, okay? Small hinges swing big doors, or many small streams make a river, right? And that's what the power of all these little optimizations. Patching one leak may not make a huge difference, but patching a dozen leaks or 2 dozen leaks or 3 dozen leaks is definitely going to make a big difference in your business, okay? Now let me show you what I mean, all right? Small tweaks equal big wins, all right? Now in the front end of your business, there are 3 true main growth levers that will really move the needle in your business to create that geometric growth, okay? There's visitors, which is more traffic, which only works if you have your leaks patched. There's conversion rate, an increase in the amount of people who actually buy, and average order value. These are the 3 areas on a store on the front end that really can make the biggest needle-moving difference in your business the quickest, the low-hanging fruit, if you will, okay? Now, a 10% increase in each of these 3 areas actually equals a 33% increase in revenue and a 66% increase in net profit. Okay, you guys, if you're not paying attention right now, you need to start paying attention here. This is where it starts to get really powerful and really cool. A 10% increase in visitors, a 10% increase in conversion, and a 10% increase in average order value can equal a 66% increase in your net profit. That's geometric growth. That's where the magic happens, okay? So let me show you how that works. So this is a very simplistic example just to show you the power of it. Now, what we call small tweaks, big wins, and the power of geometric growth, Jay Abraham, who's one of the marketing legends, he likes big words, so he likes to call this the power Parthenon. Okay, so if you want to see him teach it, he talks about the same principles in the power Parthenon that create geometric growth. All right, but in this example, okay, the baseline statistics for this example: the company gets 8,000 visitors, their conversion rate is 5%. They get 400 sales with an average order value of $50 equals gross sales of $20,000. Okay, now we're going to do a little cowboy broad math here because we're not going to get super nitty gritty into a financial statement. All right, so based on this, we're going to say there's a 50% cost of goods of $10,000, so $10,000 cost of goods, and the break even this company needs to operate, including its other expenses, we're just going to say is $5K. Okay, so for a company at this size, it's probably close to that number, okay? Meaning that the net profit, or the operating profit in this case, is $5,000, all right? Nothing fancy there, right? Just some basic math. Now, if we did a 10% increase in each of the 3 areas, so that means 800 more visitors, a 0.5% increase in conversion, and 84 more sales, and a 5%, a $5 increase in AOV, you can see that's super easy. that equals a 33% increase in gross sales. Gross sales go from 20,000 to 26,000, okay? But the real cool thing is gross sales of 26,000, cost of goods go up a little bit because there's a few more sales to 13,000. Break even stays the same because it's the same cost to operate the company. Now the net profit goes from $5K to $8,310. Now if you do the math, that's a 66% increase in net profit. That's why we teach revenue optimization. You optimize your revenue, you optimize your store, and you get more money in your pocket from what you're already doing with only marginal increases, okay? Is this making sense? Guys, are you still with me here? I'm gonna grab a drink, let me know. Good stuff so far? Who's enjoying this? Awesome. All right, let's keep going then. So don't you just love math? Now, if those of you know me, you know that I'm not the greatest at math. So it's kind of a funny slide for me to have in a webinar, but still true. You might be thinking something like this at this point. Well, Tanner, those are fantasy numbers. It's impossible or not realistic to get a 10% increase in all these different areas, okay? You can't get 10% increases. You might be able to get 10% total or whatever, right? Well, let me just show you how untrue that is, right? So au contraire, I'm going to show you a bunch of test results that are going to show you exactly how easy this is. What you see right here is going from a plain description to using tabs to break up the description. So you can see the red box shows we added tabs to the description of the product, okay? This simple addition, same product, same price, same everything else, only the addition of tabs to break up the content, and you can see that we got a 17.7% increase in revenue per user and a 10.8% improvement in conversion rate. One little optimization gave us a 10.8% improvement in conversion rate. Okay, that's just one little test, but we got more. Here's a priority processing offer on the cart. So on the left, you can see the original, the control. On the right, you can see the variation where we added a checkbox to offer them priority processing. Okay? And right here, you can see that by doing that, we saw a 15% increase in average order value, a 10.5% increase in conversion rate, and a 27.2% session value increase, okay? Value per session. Simply by adding a checkbox to the side slide cart, okay? Again, all of these are small tweaks. All of these are over 10%, and these are not crazy optimizations, okay? Here's another one. We changed the price on customization with engraving from $19, we dropped it to $15, okay? We were testing price on a customization option. And you can see here, we had a 41% increase in add to cart, 4.7% increase in average order value, 16.7% increase in revenue per user, and the e-com conversion rate went up 8.3% simply by changing the price. Okay? How many of you could run a price test on your store? Up or down? Right? We all can do that, blindfolded, right? Here's another one. Switching from drop downs to swatches. Okay? Simple thing. All right? In many stores, it's just as simple as selecting an option. Okay? We saw a 65% increase in conversion rate by switching over to swatches and a 56% increase in per session value. All right? Massive. Simply by focusing on patching the leaks and optimizing the store. This is how small changes equal big wins. Guys, this screenshot, 4 million in sales, up 92%, 28% boost to conversion rate. Look at the numbers, right? This is March 1 through April 30th of this year, okay? Right during all the craziness, okay? This is just a regular old store. Doesn't matter. If you're doing it right, the store will grow, okay? Revenue optimization, guys, is not magic. It's just systematic principles. Patching the leaks, focusing on optimizing your store and your buyer's journey, and the traffic takes care of itself, okay? So how do you do it? What do we do? Well, the first thing is, where are the leaks? We got to find the leaks, okay? What is causing the leaks? And how do I stop the leaks, okay? And then the next question that you can add as an optional thing is, once I've stopped the leaks, how do I improve or smooth out this portion of the customer journey to make it perform better than it already is, okay? But these are the first three main ones, okay? Now you do that with a process called heuristic analysis. All right, now in geek speak, heuristic analysis is an experience-based assessment of each and every page of your store or buyer's journey or funnel, okay? Now, this is a process where some experienced eyes are going over and looking and noting and working on the store and touching every little piece of it and notating every possible thing that's wrong or needs to be fixed or could be broken or is glitchy or has a bug or whatever, okay? Now, this is a learned skill. And our average heuristic analysis document, which is the report that we generate, is over 30 pages long. So if you do a heuristic analysis on your own site by optimizing and kind of going through and looking at your store, and you come out with like 1 page or 2 pages or 3 pages, you did it wrong, okay? Every time we do a heuristic analysis, even on an optimized store, we come out with a massive document full of things that we can continually fix, optimize, dial in, and tweak, okay? So this is a process that you can do, all right? Now, it's not rocket science, okay? I don't want you to think that. It sounds complicated, but it's not rocket science. Anyone can learn how to do it. Hell, we learned how to do it, and I'm not the smartest guy in the shed, smartest cookie. I'm not that guy, but I learned it, okay? It does take time though, all right? In our case, within Build, Grow, Scale, it takes us 6 months to train a revenue optimization specialist that we basically take it through an internship program to be proficient enough that we can allow them to do heuristic analysis on our stores or a client store or anything like that. Okay, it's a 6 months learning process to really become truly proficient at an expert level. Okay, not a hobbyist, but an expert level. Okay. Now the question that I want to ask you though is, how much time do you have? Okay, because just because it can be learned doesn't mean it should be learned. Okay, there is a highest and best use for a business owner and for a store owner, and for each and of us it's slightly different. What's the best thing that you should be doing with your time? Well, revenue optimization is where your store's focus should be and what you should be focusing on, but is it the right thing for you to sit down and go, okay, I'm going to spend the next 6 months learning heuristic analysis, or I'm going to spend the next 6 months learning this, or I'm going to do this investment of time? Is that where you should spend your time? Because honestly, in most cases, you need to think this through, because this is another place that people really mess up in business, is they spend too much time doing tasks that are not their highest and best use. And while they may move the needle, if someone else can do that same task, then you, the store owner, can focus on the higher level tasks that really compound the growth and the profits that your store makes. Because we all, as store owners and business owners, have a billion things to do, right? It's not like we have any shortage of things to do on a day-to-day basis, right? Totally. Okay, so let me tell you a quick story here. It's about the power of knowing. So there is a giant cruise ship, okay? And these cruise ships run on these massive steam or piston engines, these big old engines, right? Now this cruise ship had one of its engines that they could not get to fire. It would not turn over, would not start. And they had their mechanics come in, they had their engineers, they hired experts, they hired all these different people, and dozens of different experts were coming in trying to get this cruise ship piston engine to turn over, right? They could not get it to happen. They kept hiring all these different people. And it took a long time, and obviously the longer the cruise ship sits there not moving, the less money it makes and the more it costs them. So finally they're like, you know what, we got to find somebody. They keep asking around, and finally they get a recommendation about this old timer who, you know, may be able to help them. So they call this guy, and he comes in. He's this old man, comes kind of waddling, hobbling in real slow, carrying a small little toolbox with him, like an old little wood toolbox, carries it in, sets it down, spends the next hour looking over the machine, tapping it, touching it, kind of looking at it, rubbing it in different spots. Then he steps back from it, looks at it, reaches into his box, picks up this tiny, tiny, tiny little ball peen hammer, walks up to the piston engine, rubs the spot, and goes, tap! And all of a sudden the engine goes, vroom, and comes to life, and the pistons start turning. And they got it running, and they said, thank you, we got this going, we're so happy. And so about a week later, the old man sends them an invoice. The cruise ship gets an invoice for the work, and it's $10,000. And they're like, what? 10 grand, all he did was hit it with a hammer. How can you? And so they get upset and they go, you know what? Let's ask him to itemize. So they said, sir, would you please itemize your invoice and then send it back over, please? We need it broken down. And he says, sure. So he breaks down the invoice and he says, hammer cost $5. Knowing where to hit, $9,995. Okay? Because the power is knowing where to hit. All those other experts that charge whatever they charge with all their fancy stuff, they couldn't figure it out. Okay? He knew exactly what to do. It's not the matter of how hard he hit it or that he only had to tap it once. The fact was he had the experience to get it going. Okay? And this is one of the things that it's really important to remember. I keep this story in my mind in business on a daily basis because it's very easy for us to get distracted and try to figure out how many different ways can we figure this out without actually going to the one source that can make it happen. Okay? So what this webinar is about, what we're going to do is we're going to show you where to hit instead of selling you the hammer. Okay? Because honestly, guys, you don't need another hammer. You've bought dozens of courses. You've bought everything. You've watched more than webinars than you can count. You've been through all this stuff, right? The last thing you need is for me to sell you another hammer. How about we just show you where to hit so that you can make that smack or your developer can make that hit and your store comes to life. Does that sound pretty good to you guys? How many of you guys are tired of buying hammers and just want to get it get to the point, right? Me, yes, totally. Okay. Absolutely. Oops, sorry, I lost my chat. Where are you guys? There we go. Cool. All right, so that's what we're going to do. Now, to recap real quick, traffic is not your problem, all right? To reduce your bounce rate can cut your traffic cost in half. Just a slight 10% reduction can cut it in half. Optimize your store to make traffic work. It'll make it easier and cheaper for you. Small, little changes add up to really big wins. And the power of knowing is key. Quit buying more hammers. Figure out exactly where to hit. Let someone help you find out exactly where to hit. So you don't need to keep buying hammers. The hammers you already have are good. You need to know, okay? You need to know exactly where to hit, and that's what this is all about. So, how many of you guys are feeling like this right now? I've been throwing a lot at you. I talk really fast. You're probably kind of drinking from a fire hose right now. You're kind of overwhelmed. How many of you guys can relate to that right now? Yeah, totally. Me, yeah. Oh, wow, this is great. Cool. All right. So, I know I've covered a lot, but do I have your permission very quickly to just spend a couple minutes talking about a special offer that could give you the tools you need to take your store to that next level? Is that okay? Do you have your permission? All right with you guys? Awesome. Thank you very much. I will make this totally worth your time, I promise. All right. So what I want to show you how to do is how to skip the learning curve and jump to the front of the line. All right? Now, what am I talking about? Build, Grow, Scale has 32 revenue optimization experts putting in more than 1,000 hours per week of revenue optimization and store audits, heuristic analysis, dialing it in, doing nothing but what I have just shown you across dozens and dozens and dozens of stores. We are phenomenally good at it. It's all we do. Our company's over 54 people that do nothing but this. 32 of them are full-time revenue optimization experts, okay? All trained internally by us, all right? It's what we're pretty good at. Now, what we're offering is a complete, done-for-you store audit service, okay? Performed by our revenue optimization experts, which will show you a complete list of every single problem on your store, everything that needs to be fixed, every optimization, every bug, everything, along with screenshots and suggested solutions, all based on our experience and our over $400 million worth of sales and test results, all right? Our rule is 10x minimum value for your investment, okay? This is a completely done for you. This is the old man hobbling in who knows exactly where to hit. That old man is one of our 32 experts who's going to go through your entire business, check it out, and then deliver the exact solution to you on a silver platter, okay? How many of you guys would like to see a real-world example of what one of these store audits look like? Yeah? Would that be cool? If I could find my mouse. My mouse just disappeared. Here we go. All right. All right. Can you guys see my screen? So here's a store audit that we did for William Painter. Okay, this is probably a store you guys know about. All right, so if you look, this audit is 61 pages long. All right, and this is where we went through, and we obviously have the legal jargon, but look, we go through a waterfall report, home speed, desktop. We break down the home page, category page, product page, cart page, checkout page. Then we do the same thing in mobile. Okay, and then I'll show you the low-hanging fruit, which is something really cool. All right, so let's just jump ahead. So we go through observations. We talk about there's no clear value proposition. There's a screenshot, and then we tell you exactly what to do to fix it, okay? Cart is not labeled. So like if we bring up the screenshot, oop, where'd it go? Oh man, sorry guys, my computer is... So if you see here, we take a screenshot and say cart's not labeled, tell them what's wrong with it, and then we fix it. Let me get back in here. So I clicked the wrong button. There we go. All right, so then we get in here, we go to product page. Product list segmented into thematic sections. Friction and motivation. How will a user know that there are accessories if they just keep scrolling down past the sunglasses? And then they tell them what to do, okay? Grid items are large, but the images are not. But anyway, guys, you see this thing. There's questions. Here's questions that your customers are asking that they need to have answers to that you're not answering, okay? Then the product page. Product titles are capitalized and bolded. Here's some friction. You should be changing this. Subpar UVP icons below the add to cart with a link and an image to help you fix it. Here's exactly what you should do. No breadcrumbs, okay? And this is just on the product page, okay? We're talking 61 pages of bulleted, broken down, complete things that you need to fix, okay? And it goes all the way through. I mean, look, it just goes for days. I can scroll. Look at this. It's not wasted space. It's not a bunch of screenshots that you can't, they're all links, and it just keeps on going, okay? So this is what it can do for you guys. This audit, if we do this audit for you, you have one of our experts do the audit, deliver it to you on a silver platter, you go through this PDF report, and you'll literally be able to go down the list and go, okay, this is the first problem. Go look at the screenshot, cool. Then go into your store and fix it. And go all the way down, all right? This puts more money in your pocket. It allows you to actually scale at break even or better. Makes traffic easier and cheaper, and allows you to get that hockey stick growth that we all want, okay? Again, you could learn how to do this yourself. Okay, which is totally fine if you want to do it. It's called heuristic analysis. You can go learn how to do it. Or you can let us, which is all we do is this kind of stuff, have one of our experts go through your store, figure out exactly what's wrong with it, dial it in, tell you everything to do to fix it, and then hand it to you so you have that game plan of all the things that you need to do to fix it. Okay? Which one makes more sense logically? Okay? And then this is what it can do. Look at this. This is 4 quarters of growth. Okay? This store was doing dismally well, okay? First quarter, $6,000 in sales. Second quarter, $815,000 in sales. Third quarter, $2.7 million in sales. And this isn't even the fourth quarter. This is October 1 to December 10th. $3.6 million in sales. Because we audited this store, and it was a good store. They just had a lot of leaks. We patched all the leaks. And then they were able to scale. They became instantly more profitable first quarter to second quarter without much ad spend difference because we fixed the leaks and their traffic started working better. And then they started to dial up traffic and start scale. And then in Q4, by December 10th, they'd already done $3.6 million, okay? This works incredibly well, okay? Here's the thing. On Black Friday, Cyber Monday, they did $729K in sales with a 17% conversion rate. Okay, first 10 days of December, they did over $1 million. 9.39% conversion rate, okay? Wouldn't have been able to produce those results without improving our optimizing efforts and marketing approach strategies that we learned from BGS, okay? This is Archer. That was him and his brother David. It was the screenshots I was showing you, okay? So now what are you going to get, all right? You're going to get a complete store audit with a total value of $1,500 that has the desktop store analysis. We'll go through your entire store on desktop because it converts different than mobile. Then we'll go through your entire store on mobile, do the exact same analysis, which will actually be quite different because mobile interacts differently than desktop. We'll do a store performance analysis to figure out where your low-hanging fruit is in terms of speed, bounce rate, all the different optimizations you can make to make it perform better. Give you a PDF format delivered via email, very organized, just like you saw in the demo that I showed you. Usually 30 plus pages, okay? And a fast turnaround time of 5 to 7 business days once we start on your audit, okay? Total value of $1,500, okay? Now, why do we do this? Okay, people are always asking us. Well, people do ask us all the time, and for the longest time, we said no, because we didn't have the capacity to do it for other people. And right now, it really feels good to say yes, because we have finally grown to the level where we actually do have the flexibility in our schedule and the space and the capacity to offer this on a limited basis. And there's no sense or reality of saturation here. Us performing a store audit to help your store perform better will not make it work, anybody else's store work less or better or anything else. It's literally focused on your store. So there's no chance of it saturating a market, okay? Because every store audit is completely custom for the store that we do the audit on, okay? And it allows us to have a lower cost of entry product for people who want to try BGS out, who don't have the money or feel like paying the larger cost. Most of the Build, Grow, Scale services and offers are much higher cost. We don't have any of the lower ticket, lower price products, okay? So having this audit allows people to put our best foot forward, let them have great results at a lower price point, okay? Also, we are delivering so much value in this. You're literally implementing this audit, you're gonna start seeing your store jump by leaps and bounds. And if your store starts performing really well because of the audit that we gave you, chances are you're gonna wanna come back and do more business with us, right? It's just natural, right? If we help you make more money, you're gonna wanna come back and have us help you make even more money, okay? And then it also helps us reduce overhead because we have a team of over 54 people, 32 of them are revenue optimization experts. When they have slack in their schedule, it costs us money. So what we figured out is how much slack we have on average, and we decided to fill that with audits by allowing the public to purchase an audit from our team, and that will help fill in our slack time that our ROs have and reducing our overhead so that we don't have people sitting around doing nothing, okay? So what do you need to know? The biggest thing is that there's no crazy false scarcity here, okay? This is an ongoing offer. It's something that we are going to be offering on a monthly basis, okay, ongoingly. But it is limited on quantity, and it's 100% first come, first served. We only have so much slack time in our schedule, so we can only do so many audits. So what's going to happen is if we fill up our audit orders and we don't have any more slack, the order button is going to go away and you'll get like a waiting list option, okay? And then when we have slack available, we'll put the order button back, okay? But that's how it's a time limited, ongoing but quantity limited offer. That's the reality here. I'm not trying to do any false crazy scarcity here. You either see the value or you don't. But I want you to know that it is first come, first serve. So if 10 people order the audit before you, all 10 of them are going to get their audit orders completed before yours does, okay? Now, wouldn't be a workshop without a bonus, right? So the first bonus is a low-hanging fruit checklist, okay? Now, you just saw in that demo where I showed you the William Painter example, it's a 60-page optimization document. A lot of people go, holy crap, where do I start, right? So what we do is after we do the entire audit, one of our senior revenue optimization experts who has the most experience in our company goes through your audit and then picks out the 6 to 10 biggest and optimizations you can make that are the quickest to implement and have the highest likelihood of making a big win for you when you implement them. They're the lowest hanging fruit, the best optimizations you can do. And so we actually outline those 6 and say, hey, you should do these first to get the instant ROI, get money right back for you spend money on the audit and then you make it back with the optimizations or more. And then you can start going through the audit page by page, point by point. But we want to help you make as much money as possible, as quickly as possible, and that's where that happens, okay? So this is what it can do for you. I finally see what Tanner and Matt are talking about when they say traffic is not your problem. After implementing a lot of low-hanging fruit and optimizing our landing page, we've seen a huge increase in conversions from 3.5 to 7%. And while I didn't change a thing about our ads, those numbers look much better ROAS is up, CPA down, without touching anything in Facebook, okay? There it is, the power of knowing exactly where to hit. That's what the audit does for you. So what you're gonna get is a complete store audit. You're gonna get, for $1,500 value, you're gonna get the bonus with a low-hanging fruit checklist, $500 value, total value, $2,000. But what else do you need? There's gotta be more, right? How about a Google Analytics health check, okay? If you know me, you know I'm always talking about Google Analytics, trusting in the data, following the data, doing all of that, right? Well, guess what? Google Analytics is a complicated beast. This is the simplest diagram to break down how Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager work together. And it makes no sense, right? So how that works, Google Analytics, the example is, Google Analytics is like an AM/FM radio. It only gets AM or FM, very limited in your choices. Okay, Google Tag Manager, when you add it in to Google Analytics, it doesn't work without it, but when you add it in, now you have AM/FM, Sirius satellite radio, USB plug-in, CD player, multi-disc changer, you got this whole thing, right? And we want to make sure that you're using that appropriately and correctly, all right? Because it's complicated as shit. 99% of the sites that we come into contact with have GA or Google Tag Manager installed wrong. Now the thing about that is that if it's installed wrong, and you won't know it because Google won't tell you, because all it does, however you install it or set it up or configure it, it just starts reporting data because it assumes that's the way you want to see the data. So you could be getting reports from Google Analytics that are completely false and giving you bad data. And that's the case in almost all the stores that we come across. So our Google Analytics team, which is about 10 people strong right now, will actually go through your Google Analytics, your Google Tag Manager, and do a complete health check and outline and point out everything that's wrong or needs to be fixed in your Google Analytics, okay? And if you're not doing Google Analytics, we'll tell you the 22 points and all the different things that you should be doing, okay? Now, there should be a picture here of a girl named Krista, okay? Krista's one of our Build, Grow, Scale customers, and she came to our event. She had spent $30,000 hiring a Google Analytics team to install Google Analytics and set it up on her site correctly. She came to our event. We had one of our guys look at her site and realized that all the data she was getting was skewed and incorrect and false. It was completely unusable, okay? After a $30,000 investment, these guys were supposed to be really good at what they did. They didn't know what they were doing. Then she had to pay us to come in and fix it. You can't make good decisions with bad data, and that's what we are going to fix. So I want to show you what this looks like, guys. Okay, so this is a Google Analytics health check report. This one is 15 pages long, and everything that's not set up correctly, and it could be as simple as you don't have a setting turned on that you don't know is supposed to be turned on. Like this one, demographic and interest reports are not enabled. Okay, you're not tracking your demographics. So in this one, he tells them, site search is not tracking, shows them where it's not working, unusual direct traffic, and tells them why it's a problem. Okay, what to exclude, how to fix it, where to go to fix it, how to exclude the bot traffic that's messing up your stats, all this stuff, guys. And we're looking at it's all screenshotted and all detailed so they can know exactly what's wrong, what to do, and how to fix it. Okay? And if you need help, our team knows how to fix it too. Okay? So we're going to give you a health check as well, which normally we charge $1,000 to do this. Okay, so what you're going to get is a complete store audit. You're going to get the bonus low-hanging fruit checklist. You're going to get the bonus GA health check, and it's a total value of $3,000. Okay, but what else do you need? What else do you need? All right? What if you aren't technical? What if some of the optimizations, which there probably will be some technical stuff in your audit that are like, hey, you fix this code or this is wrong or whatever. What if you don't know how to do that and you don't have a developer on your team? Well, one of the biggest problems people have is that they don't know how to hire a good developer. Okay? Not one that costs a lot of money, but someone who's actually good at their job and knows how to make the necessary changes. Okay? Guess what? We know how to do that. We're good at that. So we put together a video training to teach you exactly how to hire a rockstar developer that you can hire for one job, multiple jobs, or if you wanted to hire them permanently or part of your team, we're going to show you exactly how to do it, where to find them, how to do it, how to avoid the bad ones, how to vet the good ones, and how to find somebody for a fair price that can help you with stuff that's beyond your skill set, okay? So that's bonus number 2, okay? And it's tough to hire a developer. If you've ever done it, if you don't know what you're doing, it's a pain in the butt, and it can obviously make you want to pull your hair out. So it's going to remove all the confusion and frustration from the hiring process. It's going to teach you how to easily select professionals at a good price and save you thousands of dollars and countless hours wasted time, all right? So what you're going to get: complete store audit, low-hanging fruit checklist, Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager health check, hire a rockstar developer training with a total value of $3,500, okay? Now, if all this did was finally get your store in the green, meaning it's profitable, would it be worth it? Or if it allowed you to actually scale your ads as fast as you want, would that be worth it? Or if it helped you to never have to guess about what to do to take your store to the next level, would it be worth it? Totally, right? Now, an audit can make this a reality, okay? Aaron said, I still need to optimize my modality cart abandonment. I'm not using DPA. I'm not doing cart screw or SMS. I'm not doing any DPA ads. But then he says, I'm running a lot of cold new traffic tests, so the traffic I'm sending is less dialed in than usual. Last month's conversion rate was 3.87, and so far today I'm at 7.28%, okay? Simply by doing some basic optimizations that we showed him. And he isn't even doing all the cart abandonment and follow-up stuff that we show you that should be done, okay? Conversion rate is not the only metric that is going to improve by the site audit that we're going to give you. You're also going to improve your overall revenue, your average order value, your lifetime customer value, your return customer rate, your bounce rate, your time on site, customer satisfaction, value per session, value per user. All of that is going to improve across the board as you implement each and one of these different pieces inside of your store audit, okay? This is how you get those small 10% increases all across the board that equal geometric growth. Now, we're talking about how a 10% increase equals 33% and 66% net profit increase. What if you got a 20% or a 30%? It goes much, much, much bigger, and it's totally possible, just like all those little optimization examples I just showed you. And that ultimately leaves you to things like this. This store, March 1, 2020 to April 30th, 2020, 268% increase in revenue, 275% increase in number of transactions, e-commerce conversion rate up over 30%, and the per session value up over 28%, simply by continuing to optimize and fix what's not working, okay? Not traffic. None of this has anything to do with traffic, okay? Now, I had two choices here, guys. My first option was to go as cheap as possible and try to sell as many of these as possible, which we can't do because we have a limited number in terms of slack time, but it also wouldn't really incentivize us to deliver and stack the value, okay? The second option was to require a little higher investment, but in exchange, we can devote more resources to guaranteeing your success, all right? So what would it be worth to you to know exactly what your store needs in order to scale? If you could get your store to 10K a month, 100K a month, $1 million a month, how much would you pay to have your store 100% revenue optimized and have that cookbook game plan to know exactly what to do? How much is that worth to you, right? A lot, right? Revenue optimization is the reason that companies pay us $75,000 plus up to 5% of their revenue every month to do this for them, okay? This is the reason they pay that. Now, you can see why this offer is a good deal at $3,500, right? Now, we've sold it for $2,500 outside this webinar at our workshops and events, all right? But because I do know that cash is king, and I know that cash flow is a big part of making an e-commerce business work, and I know that you're going to need money to patch some of these leaks, right? We're going to do a special offer where you can get your complete custom store audit today for only $997, okay? Meaning you're going to get the complete store audit with the desktop and mobile store analysis, the store performance analysis, the PDF delivery over 30 plus pages on a silver platter hand delivered to you, fast turnaround time, the low-hanging fruit checklist, the Google Analytics health check, the hire a rockstar dev training, total value of $3,500. You get it for $997 today. Go to buildgrowscale.com/go. Okay? And Alex is going to be dropping that in the chat for you in just a second. buildgrowscale.com/go. You can grab it right now. Remember, it is first come, first served. Okay, so we use the timestamp of the order to figure out who gets to go first in the audit queue. So the first people who order are going to get their audits done first. Those of you who delay are going to have to wait for the people who are faster than you. So this is the time to get it in there now. You can get a $997 instead of $3,500. Okay, great deal. Now, is there anything else that we could do to really stack the deck in your favor? Maybe something else we could offer you? I bet there is. Fast action, limited, very limited bonus, limited to only 15 per month. When you buy the site audit today, we are going to give you a free one-on-one call with one of our Build, Grow, Scale revenue optimization experts, the same ones that do the store audit. Okay? So you're going to be able to get on a call with one of our experts after your audit is completed and have them help you map out a plan and go through and answer all your questions to get the most out of the audit. Okay? That is critical. You could be on the phone with the same person who did your audit, asking questions, getting all the help you need, and getting that solid game plan, having them look at your store and again, with you on the phone to answer your questions and really make sure that you hit the ground running with this audit. Now, this is only available to 15 per month, okay? Because obviously we have a capacity issue here and we want to make sure we deliver this. So when this is gone, it's gone. You can still buy the audit, but this bonus will be taken away once the first 15 are gone for this month, and then we'll open it up again next month, but it will go away, okay? So that's legit 100% real scarcity on this. Now, what happens with a call with one of our ROs? I hesitate to say, this is what Wally says, I hesitate to say that I made a simple change and exploded my sales. I just had my first talk with Pon the other day, and I implemented 3 of the ideas he suggested and have already seen what looks like great results on a pretty small budget and little traffic. 9.21% conversion, up 60% from 3 simple changes that we talked about on the phone. Or not me, but Pon, one of our ROs, right? That's the power of getting on the phone with one of our guys. And we're going to let you do that as part of your audit process. Now, a reminder, this audit is a limited quantity offer that is 100% first come, first served. If you order right now, you're going to get in there before other people. Anyone who sees this later is going to have to get behind you, right? So those who order first are going to get their audit completed first. Anyone who orders later has to get in line behind everybody who is faster than them. So this is your chance. Go to buildgrowscale.com/go, okay? buildgrowscale.com/go. Let me put this in the chat for you guys. Awesome. Okay. Now, so let's summarize again. Wrap it up. What you're going to get: the complete store audit, the desktop mobile store analysis, the store performance speed analysis, PDF format delivered on a silver platter, fast turnaround, low-hanging fruit checklist with instant ROI, Google Analytics health check, hire a rockstar developer training, and a one-on-one RO call with one of our ROs to go over your audit. Total value $4,000. Go right now. Build, Grow, Scale. .com/go, only $997 today. So you're saving a massive, massive amount on this, okay? And I know there's going to be some questions. I know people have questions on this. We're going to answer their questions in just a second, but this is your chance. I know I can see we've already got like 4 or 5 orders that have come in. So the sooner you get in, you're going to get in behind those 4 or 5. You don't want to be any further back down the line because you want this to get done quickly. We can turn it around really fast once we start on your audit. But again, those who come before you get theirs delivered first. So do not wait. And there's only 15 total one-on-one calls available this month. So make sure you get your order in so you get one of those 15 calls. You will know as soon as you make your order, actually before your order on the order page, if you are getting one of those calls, okay? Now, you have 3 choices right now, guys. Your first option, do nothing. Don't take this leap of faith, which isn't really even a leap because it's all backed by data. But you can just not take the leap and keep doing what you're doing. Or you can learn it yourself, either on your own, which will take you months to years and who knows how many thousands of dollars to learn, or you can learn it from us. You can go through our training program where we charge you $10,000 a month for 6 months to teach you how to do this kind of stuff. We can do it. You can pay us 60 grand and we'll happily teach you how to do it and you'll be awesome when you come out of it. but you'll have spent 6 months and $60,000 to do it. Or you can take us up on this. You can skip the learning curve and jump to the front of the line by letting our revenue optimization experts do it for you for only $997. One-time payment delivered to you fast, in your hands, white glove service, including a call with an RO to help you implement it as quickly and as effectively as possible. So it's time to get yours now. buildgrowscale.com/go. Now these are the guys that have already chosen. All right? Look, big success story, 11.5K revenue, 4.6x your usual day, okay? Same traffic, same ad set, same stupid Facebook ads. Sales are way up, okay? Normally a $1,200 to $1,500 a day, now he's doing a $3,000, okay? Ben implemented the tools that we gave him. Conversion rates have almost tripled this month. They're on pace to double revenue month over month. Conversion rates hovering over 5%. He's never seen numbers like this. Joe says, on Monday I had my first $1,000 day ever, and we're seeing steady 30% month over month growth simply by optimizing what they're doing. Okay? 9 months after joining BGS, they finally did something. They finally hit play on their acquisition strategy. These guys weren't running ads for a long time. They're converting at over 7.5% now, okay? And then you've got Seth, who says, never thought a number like this was even possible. 64% returning customer rate because he dialed it in. And then you got Jonas. My best conversion rate before joining BGS was around 2%. A down day after BGS, 5+. All right? I mean, everybody would like a 5+% conversion rate, right? So again, here's everything you're getting for $997 today. Complete store audit, desktop and mobile store analysis, store performance analysis, PDF format, silver delivery, fast turnaround, 5 to 7 business days once we start it, low-hanging fruit checklist, GA and Google Tag Manager to health check, hire a rockstar developer training, one-on-one call with our revenue optimization expert, total value of $4,000, but yours today for only $997. Again, the link is buildgrowscale.com/go. Now, I know there's some questions in here, so I am happy to answer them. Let me grab a drink, and I will look at some of the questions that are coming in. Awesome. Okay, so what e-commerce platforms do you support? Great question. The platform doesn't matter when it comes to an audit. We can audit any platform, whether you're on WooCommerce, BigCommerce, Magento, Shopify, Lemonade Stands, Wix, Squarespace, whatever. That doesn't matter. We can do the audit. Now, if you're on a limited platform like Wix or Squarespace or something like that, you may have a tough time implementing some of the changes that need to happen on your store because your platform itself is extremely limited. But if you're on a major e-com platform, standard platform, you'll be able to optimize and dial in everything that we're showing with you in the audit. And so it doesn't matter what platform that you are on. All right, so go ahead and keep typing your questions in as they come, and I'll keep answering them, all right? What if my store is new? Okay, good question. So if your store is new, then, or let's say this, if your store is new or not making any sales, maybe it's not a new store, but it's still not making any sales. Well, if it's new and you haven't spent a bunch of money on ads, this is a great time to have us go through your store and help you dial it in before you spend a bunch of money on ads and wonder why your ads aren't working. Okay, that's what most people do. They set up their store, they go run ads, and they start focusing all their effort on their ads and wondering why it's not working. If you let us audit your store and tell you all the things that need to be fixed, and then you fix those, the first time you turn on your ads, it's going to be way, way easier for you. Okay? Now, if your store is not making any sales, same thing. You're obviously running traffic and not making sales. Let us help you figure out what's wrong and dial in your store so that it does start making sales, and then you can start scaling your ad spend. Samuel wants to know, does this work for drop shippers? 100%. Works for drop shippers, print on demand, widget sellers, gizmo sellers, supplement sellers, whatever. It doesn't matter what product you're selling, okay? Now, how the revenue optimization expert does the audit or some of the things they point out in the audit will be different. Like if you're a drop shipper versus someone who sells furniture online versus someone who sells supplements, each of you is going to have different stuff in your audit because the audit is 100% customized and custom for your store, okay? So from the time we start on your audit, how long does it take? That's the question. 5 to 7 days from the time we start on your audit, okay? So when do we start? Well, obviously it's a first come, first serve. So whatever order you're in, we will start on it as soon as there's an RO available who isn't working on one of the ones in front of you. We'll jump on it 5 to 7 days later, it's complete. Okay, now, is there anything that you have to do? And this is a question nobody's asking, but I know it usually gets asked, so I'm asking it for you. Is there anything that you need to do in order to speed it up? Yes, 100%. After your purchase, we're going to send you an email that's going to link to a audit form where there's some basic information that we need you to fill out for us and submit. Until you've submitted that form, we can't do your audit. So if you don't submit that form, it's going to delay and let other people go ahead of you, because if you don't do the form, we're going to let other people go. So the thing that's the most important is after you make your purchase, which you can do at buildgrowscale.com right now, where you can get it for $997, including all the bonuses and the RO call. Get the email, which comes out immediately, click it, fill it out right then, boom, and you are in the queue as fast as you possibly can, and we will get to you right away. Okay? What if my store is not ready? Can I buy the audit and not use it right away? Yes, 100%. Okay. Also, if you buy it now and you're one of the first 15 and you don't use it right away, we will still hold that call and that bonus call, and we'll say, okay, you get it when you're ready. Okay. So if your store is not ready, or you're doing some changes and you want to wait till your changes are done before the audit, you can go ahead and buy it, get your bonuses, everything, and then all you do is email us and reply to the email that we send you basically and say, hey, I'm not ready for you to do my audit yet. I'll let you know as soon as I am. Please save my spot. Okay? And then what that's going to do is you're literally just going to keep pushing. People will go ahead of you until you say, hey, I'm ready, and then you'll drop into the queue right then. Okay? All right. Can you recap the offer one more time? I forgot all your bonuses. Okay, sure thing. So what you're going to get is a complete store audit with both the desktop and mobile store analysis, where we're going to go through your store on both desktop and mobile and audit it separately. So it's basically 2 separate audits. The store performance analysis to figure out where it's performing badly in terms of speed and optimization and speed and what can be done to improve that. We'll deliver it to you in a PDF format, usually way over 30 pages. It'll be all organized just like the nice one that I showed you, and delivered to you on a silver platter. You're going to get the low-hanging fruit checklist, okay, which is where we show you the instant ROI stuff, the quickest, most highest leverage stuff you can do immediately to make money. You're going to get the Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager health check, where we go through and check out all of your data, make sure it's reporting correctly, tell you everything that's wrong with it. And if you're not using Google Analytics, we're going to tell you all the things that you should be doing, all right? We're also going to give you the Hire a Rockstar Developer training, which is going to show you how to hire somebody to help you with some of the more technical stuff that you don't know how to do, or code tasks, if there's any of those in your audit, in case you don't have a developer on your team or don't know how to hire one. We'll help you find a really good one for an affordable price and show you the proper way to do that, whether you want to hire them one time or you want to hire them and make them part of your team. You're also going to get the one-on-one revenue optimization call, okay? If you buy now, there's only 15 of these available a month, okay? And I guarantee you these will sell out of those every month. Like, we'll use all 15 of them, all right? This is where you get to get on a phone call with, or actually a Zoom call, video call, with one of our revenue optimization experts, the same ones that do the audits. And when your audit is delivered and you're ready, you can get on the call with them, and they can go through it with you, help you dial in that plan, game of attack, look at your store and answer any questions you have to really make sure that you get the best foot forward off to a running start as you possibly can. And again, you can get all of that at buildgrowscale.com/go. Okay, other questions. What if you have more than one store? Well, I would encourage you, if you really want to grow a business, it's much easier to throw all your attention and focus into one and make it big than it's ever going to be trying to grow multiple stores, okay? But if you do have more than one store, totally cool. I used to have more than one store myself before I had a team, and I totally get it. So if you have more than one store and you'd like to have us audit each store, you would need to order one time make one purchase per store, okay? One audit covers one store, one URL. If you have a Shopify store and a BigCommerce store or something like that, that's 2 audits, okay? So totally fine, we can totally do it. There is no additional discount. We've already reduced the price as much as we're comfortable with. So $9.97 for each audit that you want. So if you have multiple stores, go for it. Let's see, what else? How is the audit delivered? Great question. So the audit will actually be delivered to the email address that you give us. We'll deliver it in the email. It'll be a PDF attached to that email. It'll also be stored in your BGS members area that'll be created for you. So if you ever lose it or whatever, you can always go back and get it. So it's always available to you in the members area. And when it's completed, it'll be uploaded there and also emailed to you. And at that point, we'll also schedule your bonus call so that you can get on a call with one of the ROs. Let's see. Can you recommend someone to do the work for me? So a lot of the optimizations we show you as a store owner, you're probably going to be able to do yourself, which is great. Now, if you're not technical at all or you don't work in your store, then obviously you're going to need some help. If you don't already have that help, that's where our Hire a Rockstar Dev training that we give you comes into play. We show you exactly how to hire, what to look for, what to avoid, where to find them, and how to hire them. So we're actually going to teach you how to hire a developer who can help you with anything that you need, whether it's for this audit or just for other store stuff that you want to do. Cool? Makes sense? All right. All right. So real quick, I don't see any other questions coming in. So one more time, let's recap this and let's go through. All right. So again, when you order today, okay, which again, this is a very limited offer in terms of we only have so much slack in our schedule a month. So when it sells out for the month and it doesn't open up until we have slack again. All right. So time limited, quantity limited, but ongoing offer is kind of weird, but that's the real scarcity, guys. I'm not trying to butter this up for you. So the price is $997 instead of $4,000, and you're going to get the complete store audit, desktop and mobile store analysis, store performance analysis, all delivered in a PDF format, usually over 30 pages long, fast turnaround time, usually 5 to 7 business days once we start it. Again, we do it in order, first come, first serve, based on the timestamp of the order. So the quicker you order, the quicker your audit's going to get done, all right? You're also going to get the low-hanging fruit checklist, which is basically the closest thing to instant ROI you're going to get. We're going to show you exactly what the lowest hanging fruit out of all the optimizations in your 30-plus page report is, and you're going to know exactly what to do. We're also going to give you a Google Analytics health check and Google Tag Manager health check to find out exactly what's going on in your data, if it's reporting correctly, what needs to be fixed. We're also going to give you our Hire a Rockstar bonus training, where we're going to teach you exactly how to hire a developer to help you with the stuff that you don't know how to do. And then also for the first 15 people fast action bonus, we're going to give you a one-on-one call with one of our revenue optimization experts that you get on this call as soon as your audit is done, and they'll look at your store with you and the audit, and they'll help you develop the game plan to make sure you're off to a running start and are ready to really profit from this audit. Okay, again, total value on this entire package is over $4,000, and it's yours today for only $997 with all the bonuses. And all you got to do is go to buildgrowscale.com/go. Okay? I don't see any other comments coming in, guys, so we're going to wrap this up. Please write down this URL, because once I end this training, you won't see this URL anywhere else. It's not posted anywhere. So buildgrowscale.com/go, the only place you can get these bonuses and this package and this special offer right now. First come, first served. All right, guys? With that, I had a great time with you tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all soon. Grab your audit today, buildgrowscale.com/go. Look forward to helping you.